This is a 3D printed piece of Kinetic art. It came off my print bed in a single piece, and with this basic matrix of gears, it transitions from what looks like chaos to a complete picture of the OpenSauce logo, which just happens to be a few weeks away. If you've never heard of OpenSauce before, you should definitely check it out. Anyway, these holes on the back are actually 3D printed threads, and they accept a small screw like this to allow us to attach anything to the frame that we want. For example, here's a knob that makes it much easier to turn the gears, being held in by a small clamping spring. And these screws may not look it, but because they're printed horizontally on the print bed, they're super strong. More than strong enough to handle things like this stand to display the piece at a nice viewing angle. I even put together a quick control box and press fit motor mount so that we can drive the gears automatically. However, it did take a couple of iterations and some lube to get the whole thing spinning nicely. And that's mainly because these print-in-place gears don't have great radial alignment or control over backlash. There's also a question of friction, but the main fact is that I have a bunch of these gears meshing horizontally and vertically, which makes the effect of every problem I experience exponentially worse with each section that I add. Which is basically just a long way of saying that sometimes the gears bind up, and this isn't the most optimal way of achieving this sort of motion. I have a dream to make a wall-sized or even tile version of this concept that would of course use different mechanical principles to mitigate the issues I just covered. Things like pulleys and bearings would be a huge help, but for now, this is a solid starting place and a fun proof of concept. The whole thing actually popped in my mind a few days ago after reading the design challenge posted by Prusa over on Printables. So I decided to also make them a little label to attach to the top. Let me know what you think would be cool to see on a mechanism like this. It could be a modeled three-dimensional topological map of complex hue forged, holders for maker coins, or even just some simple geometric shapes. Also, make sure to subscribe if you want to see the project progress.